I want to do the video. I don't have coffee. Just hang out here real quick. 30 seconds, maybe less. I'll be back. I need to. Much better. Much better. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ordinary Pastor YouTube channel. I am the Ordinary Pastor, John Hawkins, and as promised, today we are going to talk more about reading. Here's why we're going to do this. If you want to read, but you're not a reader, reading can become intimidating. So what I want to do is I want to give you some tips for how you can grow in your reading and step up your reading game in 2019. You're probably thinking to yourself, this is crazy. I don't like reading. I'm going to share a secret with you. Okay. I read a lot, and I did not used to like to read, like, at all. In fact, I got through my entire, I'm not proud of this. I shouldn't say this as though I'm proud of it, but I got through my entire undergrad degree program without reading an entire book front to back. Like, that's how much I hated reading. I now love reading, and I really enjoy reading. So I want to give you some tips that might be helpful for you if you want to cultivate a love for reading, if you want to be a better reader. So let me give you some tips. Number one, start with something that you're really interested in. Start with something that you're really interested in. If you pick up like a book on a topic that you're not really into, it's going to be really hard to get engaged with that and keep reading through that. So you've got to start somewhere where you're comfortable. You've got to start somewhere with a topic or a author or something like that where you're into it from the start, where you know that this is going to bring value to your life and you're going to enjoy going through and reading this book. So start with something that you enjoy. If you like mechanics, if you like automobile repair, get a book on automobile repair. If you like do-it-yourself projects, get a book on do-it-yourself projects. If you like painting or photography or baseball, whatever it is, these just happen to be things that I'm into, except for painting. I'm not good at painting and don't really like, anyway, not important. Get a book about what you like and read that book first. Start there. Tip number two, if you want to be a reader, if you want to be a better reader, but you're not sure where to start or you struggle with not liking to read, get something that's doable. So this is what I got for Christmas. I got 2 volumes. These are the George Whitefield biography, 2 volumes of this. 2 very thick, big volumes. That can be very scary for somebody that's not into reading. You could get something like this and you fail before you even start because all you're seeing is how many pages are here. And I'm starting like right here. Like, I've done this much and I still need to read this much, and that's scary. So don't start with something like that. Start with something that's manageable. Start with something that you can read that's not intimidating. Like, here, let me give you a suggestion. Start with something like this. Thin. It's got pretty decent sized print. It's not too bad, right? You can do this. And it's a small book. So just start with something that's achievable. Something that, like, if you're not a big reader, just start with something small. Find a book that interests you, that's a smaller book, and go for that. Tip number 3. This one might be hard. Schedule time to read. Now, I know what you're saying. You're probably thinking, well, I don't have time to read. I've got all sorts of different things going on in my life. I'm too busy. I don't have time to do that. Yeah, you do, because you're watching a video on YouTube right now. So turn off YouTube and pick up a book. Turn off social media, pick up a book. And just schedule that time in your life. Maybe it's before you go to bed. Maybe it's during your lunch hour, whatever that is. Schedule 10 minutes. Just start small, 10 minutes of reading. Don't feel like you've got to get through a whole chapter. That's not true. You don't. You can get through 3 paragraphs and set it down and then pick it up again later and do 3 more paragraphs. It doesn't have to be this rigid thing. It's supposed to be enjoyable. So set some time aside and then focus on reading for that time. Number 4, when you do that, turn off your notifications. Turn your phone on silent, put it in another room. Don't get distracted by it. Find a place that you can read where you won't be distracted and that's comfortable for you. And then just open your book and start reading. Distractions can cause reading to be hard because our phone dings and we're immediately like pulled to it and we're like, I gotta check that. Who is it? Maybe it's important. I don't know. If you just turn your cell phone off, or you turn the notifications off, or you close your computer, or whatever it is, you won't be as distracted. And maybe that'll help you read a little bit better. Final tip. Find a way to share what you're learning and what you're reading with other people. Now, here's where I've got a solution that might be really helpful for you. I've started a Facebook group called 2019 Reading Challenge. It's linked below, and I can't put one up there. Now, it's linked below. And that Facebook group is open. You can come join. Would love to have you. It's based off of a guy named Tim Chalis. Tim Chalis is a Christian blogger and author, and he comes up with this reading challenge every year. There's like 4 different levels, depending on how avid of a reader you are. And so you can pick a level that you're comfortable with. But look, if you pick a level and you don't hit that level, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's like a guide. The cool thing about this reading challenge is it gives you suggestions for books to read. Maybe you're sitting there wondering, like, where do I start? Well, there's like 100 suggestions on there that you can choose from and find a book that fits one of those categories. And it allows you to start and know where you're going to start right then and there. But even if you start at like the lowest level and you don't stay on schedule, that's fine. Just be a part of the group. And the whole point of the group is not to determine whether or not we hit the goal or whether or not we succeeded in our resolution or whatever that is. The whole point of the group is we're going to share what we're learning from the books that we're reading. We're going to encourage one another as we read. We're going to share insights, maybe a quick summary of a chapter that you just read, or let one another know what books we're reading. It'll give you ideas for other books that you might want to read. But it's also going to encourage you because we want to hear what you have to say. We want to hear what you're getting from the book that you're reading as a way of encouraging us and maybe piquing our interest in that book and giving us a desire to read that book. So you have a lot to contribute, even if you're just wanting to read one book over the next year. That's fine. Come to the group and be a part of that group. If we get a community of people together doing this, even if our goal is just to read one book over the course of 2019, there's a level of encouragement and motivation there to keep going when you're hearing what other people are reading, you're hearing what other people are getting into, your interest is piqued, and they're wanting to hear what you have to say about what you're reading. Whatever that is, whatever that topic is that interests you, we want to hear what your thoughts are on it. We want to hear whether you recommend the book or whether you're getting something out of it or whether it's redundant or whether it's not well written or whatever it is. Just pick a book, join the group, and come be a part of that with us. So if you aren't already a reader, 2019 is a great time to start reading. There's so many books and they're so accessible. It's a shame that we don't read them. But more than that, it's a great time for you to fall in love with reading all over again. So you can hit subscribe down below and hit the little bell and it'll alert you when those new videos are posted. I'm going to do a few more videos on this reading thing, and then pick a book and join us in this journey in 2019 of stepping up our reading game, because I really think it's going to be beneficial for you and beneficial for those around you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.